Hey everyone, my name is Chris from Meeple Overboard, and hopefully today I have good internet. That would be my dream. That would be the best thing that I could hope for right now. So I am playing tonight a solo game of... I got the box somewhere. I usually show it off. Here we go. Expedition to Newdale. This is a game by probably my favorite game designer, Alexander Pfister. This is a game that plays 1 to 4 players, and it is an expanded experience. It is a larger version of a card game that he designed earlier in his career called Oh My Goods. Oh My Goods is one of my favorite small box games, an engine builder that allows you to have a hand of cards that you use to construct buildings, and then those buildings end up generating you more resources. And the original is a multi-use card game. This is also a multi-use card game, but done a little bit different. Awesome. Paul says that I sound and look good. I assume that you mean the video looks good, because I look okay. We'll be honest. I'm getting to the point though where my hair is long enough that as it grows any longer, it's only going to start looking better. I think I've peaked in terms of like, oh gosh, Chris, are you sure that you don't want to just buzz your hair? I'm fine. It'll grow out. So I'm glad that the video is looking better this time than last week when I did solo terraforming Mars and it didn't really work out. So I'm going to do a brief overview of what this game is kind of all about. This game is played over 7 rounds, and there are 7 event cards in the deck that will determine a little bit of what happens every single round. You, in this game, have workers. You start with workers. You have Thing 1 and Thing 2 with the magical things that they can do. And you'll be assigning them out either onto buildings in your tableau area, such as down here, and they're going to be generating you resources. And if you meet the requirements here shown on the left-hand side, 2 yellow workers and a red worker, you assign one of your workers here to try and produce more of that resource. How much you produce depends on which one of these spaces you want to go onto. You'll notice that this one, for example, says it costs 1 fewer worker resource of that type, 2 yellow and an orange, or a reddish or whatever. If I don't think I'm going to get enough of that in the market this round, I can hedge my bets and say, oh, I'm going to go lower. This one is a +1 and this one's a +2, so if I think I'm going to get more of that with a little bit of a push your luck thing, I can try and make more resource cubes of this type. Depending on the building you have, this one at the start of the game starts with 5 cubes on it, 5 crates, 5 resources of this type, coal. Coal, you'll see down here, is worth 1 coin. If I were to build, I'll show you an example from my hand. If I had a bakery, boom, if I had this bakery down here, and if I got this one to fire off, you'll see it costs 3 green and 2 blue, so that's a more expensive building. I put this down here, and then every time that I would manufacture one of these goods onto here, it would be worth 5 coins. So more coins allows you to buy more expensive buildings. This bakery costs $18, so hopefully you'll be able to afford some really big buildings. So that's the main area of your tableau, what you're building up. There is also this action area over here. You want to build up. As you build up, you'll be expanding out across the map here. So I start here in the town of Longsdale. I almost pronounce it Logandale, which is a city out in Nevada. Longsdale. We start here, and then we can spread our influence building in our tableau. But as we build cards into our tableau, we'll also take one of these buildings and put them out onto the map, and then we can get certain bonuses for matching things here and there, or immediate victory points in some of these spaces. Like this one is worth 2 victory points if you build there. Little things like that. But the other place that you'll put your worker discs are these spots over here. So this one allows you to get more workers. Workers 3 and 4 are chilling over here in Campbell's Soup Can Prison, right, until I hire them up. And then this space allows me to ditch cards to get a bunch of resources, 4 coal and 1 resource of my choice, which is neat. This one allows you to discard your whole hand except for 1, or you can draw 3 cards. This one is spend 4 coins, right, i.e. resources off of your buildings, up to a total of 4, to upgrade one of these action discs over here. So how far you can build, or how many cards you need to discard if you don't have enough of these workers of the right type. So that's a nice little feedback engine. And then this last one here allows you to build buildings, i.e. the point of the game. Think-a-themer, welcome to the shindig. No worries. All I did was kind of describe kind of what the game is about. And so, I mean, have you all played Oh My Goods? If you have, it's very similar, right? Multi-use cards that can either be buildings or can be used as these kind of resources of this type. But it's a simple worker placement. These are the 5 main actions, as well as the actions that you can take here on your own tableau where you're building up these cards, and then you can assign workers here. Now, because the worker discs are numbered, 1, 2, and then eventually I should be able to unlock 3 and 4, one of the fun puzzles of the game is trying to get these to fire off in the right order and making sure that it's taking all the actions that you want them to take. So 3 and 4 go away here. They're not yet hired. I start with discs 1 and 2. And then, yeah, so basically the objective this is scenario 1, by the way. There are 8 scenarios, I believe, in the game. And so it comes with additional maps, different variant maps that you can use that, and they're even double-sided. So some of them are very different. So this is just scenario 1, and wink. So this is just going to be scenario 1. I've got everything set up already. Paul says, I have the 3 small card decks that came out before this game. Okay, so Paul, you have Oh My Goods and its 2 expansions, because that's kind of the... Oh My Goods was the original one. And then there was an expansion called Longsdale in Revolt, which had a 5-game campaign little story thing to it, which was kind of cool. And then there was a second one called Escape to Riverbrook Canyon or something like that, which was the second expansion. Super, even harder to find than the first one in the United States. So we never got to play that. Apparently some cool story stuff happened there. And then this is kind of the third chapter or the third chunk of story in that little universe. Then there was also Tybor the Builder, which is another small box game, much like Oh My Goods, but it was a card drafting game, and that one is so fun. We did a playthrough video of that, and that one I possibly like even more than Oh My Goods. This one's up for debate whether I like it more or not. It has the board, it has the movement, and it has bonuses and stuff as you progress around. These bonus tokens you can pick up along the way to trigger them and fire them off. So we'll have to see. Oh no, Paul says, here come the lags. That's no fun to see. Hopefully the video's still watchable. I don't know why your internet's lagging. Is it just a 9 p.m. slowdown thing here? We'll see. Hopefully it all works out. All right. The particular thing that I have to do this game. You know what? There's a little story to it all, right? It really says here, previously on Oh My Goods, 5 years have passed since the Red Feast. Insert Game of Thrones reference. Yada yada yada. There's a big story. A bunch of stuff happened in the past, and now it's time to get more goods, but with story this time. So chapter 1. So like I said, I think there's 8 chapters or whatever in the second little chronicle book. And chapter 1 previously. Read the opening scroll on the first page of the rule book. Nah. Not lagging now, but it's a bit blurry. The internet. So, you have been summoned by Enoch Bruback, the king's quartermaster. He says, if we want our expedition to succeed, we need to produce large amounts of daily rations to sustain our troops. We count on your support. So the solo objective is a little bit different than the multiplayer objective. And so the solo game says I have to have 30 coins worth of these particular resources. And these particular resources are going to be shown over here on this objective card. So at the end of the game, I have to have $30 worth of coins, bread, or meat. So rations for the troops. So that's what my target is. 30 points there. Plus, I have to have at least 38 victory points earned by the end of the game and two of these fist symbols representing military strength or whatever. Okay, so it seems to look good now. Woohoo, the internet. Thank you. So this kind of is the objective card based on the chapter number and whether you're playing solo or multiplayer. Multiplayer, there's like a person who has the most of this, or if you complete this objective, earn these extra bonus points. So yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do this game. 38 points on this score tracker here, and 30 coins worth of those resources. Yes, thank you. I fancy myself a voice person. We've been reading a lot of books to our daughter during lockdowns and everything, and so we blew through the entire Harry Potter series for her, and we're reading through Aragon, and Wendy and I are reading Mistborn, and so we're just kind of getting to the fantasy stuff, and so yeah, it was fun doing just tons of voices and having complete reason to be able to do silly voices. So yes. So you start the game with 8 cards in hand and discard down to 5 of them. So these are the 3 that I've discarded here. And, oh yeah, the other great thing, the super cool thing, let's go to the tableau view. This is also a round overview thing for the game. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the event deck of cards. We're going to flip over the first event. So that's step number 1 here. Blueprints. Oh dear, I didn't account for this. Let's see. Okay, so you flip over an event card, right? And this will show you how many workers there are of the different colors that can feed basically all of your buildings. You'll notice that this one has 2 yellow, 2 green, and a red. Well, if I look at my coal mine, it requires 2 yellow and a red, so that's perfect. And this is only the first half of the workforce that's going to be available in the market this game. You also, in a later part of the round, will draw workers out of this bag. So step 1, you flip over the event card. Step 2, you assign your worker discs out to the spaces, right? So maybe I'll go here, and then I'll go to one of the action spots on the main board or something like that, right? Step 3, you draw 4 meeples out of this bag, and you add them to the number of workers, right? So if I pulled out, yada, 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 that's more of these things here that can fuel your buildings. Perfect, right? Step 4 is to resolve the actions. Step 5, you always get 1 free build per round. You always get 1 free build. And if you remember, on the action spaces over here, this is also a build action. And so if you want to build more than 1 building in a round, you can, but you have to spend one of your workers here when you'd probably rather them be doing something else. But if you need to build multiple buildings, that's how you can do it. So yeah, and if you don't use this build action, the free build, you can draw 2 cards. And then lastly, any buildings that are, so these are production buildings, but the black background buildings are... these are like special effect buildings. So like this one that I kept here, if I build this one, it says at the end of each round and during step 6, I get to draw an additional card, which is important, which is very good. So that's the round overview there. So I kept these cards because, if you'll notice, I have 2 options of building flour mills. And flour mills are important because, as one would assume, if I'm trying to make bread for the endgame objective, flour can be used to turn into bread. Bread is worth 5 coins each, and so getting 30 coins, or the endgame objective, 30 coins worth of breadstuffs won't be that hard, especially if you have a good chain. So this is something from Oh My Goods that carried over here, where there's also these production chains, right? So this is the number of stuff that you need to fire it off, right, between this card here and the additional ones that you pull out of the bag. But also, let's use my coal mine as an example, because that's the first one that's already out. So you'll see that this coal mine card shows this any stone resource that you have on a card. This is where the multi-use nature of these cards comes in. When I make the coal mine fire off, I can also use this production chain ability. I could spend a card from my hand of the matching resource type, for example, and then I would discard it, and put and I would turn that into an additional resource. I'd put that cube on there. And every time that you use a production chain, you automatically get one and only one free extra resource every time you use the chain action in a turn. Now, if I chained 2 cards into it, I would get 2 resources, one for each card, plus and only plus a bonus 1. So that's kind of how that one works there. So anyway, that I'm really excited. I've never played this one solo before, and it's very much as if there's almost no difference in playing it multiplayer, except that play order kind of matters. So let me think about how I want to do this. Perfect. You know what? There's a little bit of room on the camera here. So the blueprints. The event deck here says place 6 buildings face up into a display, and buildings can be purchased from this face up display of buildings and not just my hand. Bum 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 bum. Ba-do-do-do. Any of these good? Ooh. Small watchtower is one of those fists, since I have to have 2 of them by the end of the game. Anyway, I mean, I might want to hold on to this card in my hand, because you can build from your hand, or if the event cards here cause a display of cards to be put out there, you can always build from up there. So I'm gonna do this. Is that a good view? That'll show off the cards. Sort of visible. Okay. So I think we're ready to start now. And I'm going to, let's see, okay, so step 1, we flipped over this event card. I know that I've got enough stuff to fire off my coal mine, so that's good. 2 yellows and a red. And I bet in step 3, when I pull 4 things out of here, I bet that I'm going to be able to get 1 more, right? A yellow or a red. But if I go to this action space here to produce 4 cubes, I'm also betting that I'm going to get 2 extra yellows or 2 extra reds or a yellow and a red, right? Something of that type to fire off. And so if I go to this space here with one of my workers, I'm betting that I'm going to get a huge payoff. But here's the risk. Here's the gamble. This is kind of a carryover from Oh My Goods, which is this has a push your luck aspect to it. If I put this here, I'm saying, okay, I bet there's going to be 2 extra yellow or 2 extra red or some combination thereof. But if I'm wrong, then that's a wasted action. The way that I can compensate for that is I could ditch 3 cards from my hand to account like per worker guy that's missing. That's what this token here indicates. It costs 3 cards to make up for 1 guy, 1 person, 1 worker missing from the market. I'd rather not ditch 3 cards, but odds are pretty good. Where's the... Okay. This is the distribution in the bag. 6 yellow, 5 green, 4 red, and 3 blue. So blues are the hardest to get. Yellow is the most common. Red's, not bad, right? But the odds of getting 2 red... 2 yellow alone is decent out of 4 pulls. And if I got 1 of each, that's perfectly fine with me. But there's also this action over here, wherein, if I put a disc here, I get 4 coal plus 1 resource of any type. Since I don't have any other production buildings, it would just be a 5th coal. But it guarantees costs me 2 cards to take that action. And so I don't know if I want to do that. That's a lot of coal, which would be great. But, And so if I did, I don't know if I should do that, right? I want to start building out onto the map. The other thing I could do is I could go over here to draw up more cards, right? Ooh. This might help. This might be it. So I think my first action is going to go over here. I can choose on this first part to ignore swapping out my entire hand but 1 card, since I did kind of craft this hand pretty nicely, I think. So I think I'm going to do that. And then the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place this worker disc over here. I'm gonna push my luck as far as I can go and say, hey, I bet that 2 extra workers are going to come out, yellows and or reds. And if not, I'm slightly hedging my bets because I'm drawing extra cards here. So odds are that I should have decent cards that I don't mind throwing away while I can still keep good cards for me. So step 2 is now done. I've assigned my workers out, and they will fire off in that order. You notice I put 1 over here to draw more cards first, and then secondly, I will fire off this building. If I did it the other way, I'd have to fire off the building before I drew cards. Good sneeze. So I don't want to do it that way. So step 3, I'm going to pull 4 workers out of the bag. Ooh. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Bad. That's blue. 2. Green. Oh dear. 3. Blue. 4. Green. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Well, I certainly messed up because none of those are yellow or red. I guess proper English says yellow nor red. Neither of those are yellow nor red. So, oh no. Oh no. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I am going to keep my hand of cards instead of ditching all but 1 because I kind of like these cards. So I'm going to keep them, but I will draw the 3 extra. 1, 2, 3. The Cooper's Workshop lets me build barrels. The Weaving Mill lets me make cloth. And then the Flour Mill lets me make flour. Hey, look, an alternate flour mill. I have 3 different types of flour mills I can build. Neat, right? Oh, man, that is... Oh, man, that's gnarly. That's not good. Oh, no. So what do I do? What does one do in these trying times? Oh boy. I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to discard cards to try and fire off this coal mine. Oh, garbage. I definitely should have done this in retrospect, but I had such a safe bet. All right, so step 4, I'm activating, so I activated this one, and then I'm going to not do this action. When you completely fail at an action, you get 1 piece of compensation. You do get to draw a card. So in this case, this is a $5 cattle farm. Oh, hey, that's not bad, because I haven't had cattle yet, and I would like cattle, because cattle, guess what, turns into meat, and so that might be good. Cattle are only worth $2 each, but there's that opportunity for them to convert through a production chain. How's it going, Devin? Welcome. I just flunked my first turn out of 7, so we'll see what happens. Okay. Step 5. So step 1 is reveal. 2 is put out which actions you're going to take. 3 is this little push your luck thing where you pull out the extra workers to see what fires off. 4 was to take all the actions, and I did bad. So step 5 is now time to actually build a card. I can build a card or draw 2. I need to build, right? I don't need to draw more cards. Drawing doesn't help me adequately. So here's the thing. I only have $5. My 5 starting little resources here on a building where each good is only worth 1 coin. So, yeah, I'll try and pass the other turns, Devin. Yeah, the other 6 to make sure I don't completely botch this. So I can either afford to build... These are the only cards I can build, right? Yeah, a 4 cost or a 5 cost. So, cattle farm gives me a different type of production thing to build, or I can do the writing room, which lets me draw more cards. And drawing more cards is not bad, but I got an idea. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little bit of play here on the board. And so how this works is when you build a building card, so yeah, I'm going to slot this into... Oh, here's one of the other fun things too, right, is where you construct a card kind of matters. So you'll see that some of these have, I think these three are all the same, right? Like this one is easier to fire off a building, but you don't get as many resources built onto it. This one is completely neutral, and this one is a +2, right? I bet that I'm going to have 2 extra of stuff. Oh, wait a second. I'm not even building a production building. But you'll notice that these three are the same, and then these 4 on the bottom are different. And they're kind of bigger gambles, bigger rewards, which I like. So, okay. So I'm going to build this building over here. This is just a safe bet. I'm going to spend $4. So 4 cubes off of my coal mine. Each coal is worth $1, one coin or dollar, if you will. And I'm building the writing room so that when I get to stage 6, I get to draw a card. Because cards are good. Cards are, you can ditch them, right, to make up for bad luck like I had. So I do that. To represent building, like constructing a building, I go to the map, and I'm going to take one of the buildings here, and I get to place it somewhere. I can build within, this is my starting indicator, 1 to 2 spaces of where I have a previous building. So I can go along these roads here, 1 space or 2 spaces. I'm going to go 1 space, because you'll notice that this little, my little action tile here shows, if I go 1 space, it says plus this tile, plus a bonus tile. This bonus tile I could pick up, and that would be really nice. So I'm going to go 1 space and construct my building here. So at the end of the game, building's worth 1 point, per this little symbol right up here in the corner. But I also, by also building here, I get, by building here, I can pick up a tile. And I'm going to pick up one of the tiles, obviously it has to be adjacent to where I build, and I'm going to pick up this one. This says that hiring a new disc in the future will cost me 4 coins fewer. And you'll note that's this action up here, right? They cost 7 or 13, so saving $4 is a big deal. So I'll take that, and I'll just put that right here, plop, hooray. So now that completes my my building. Step 6, I get to draw 1 card. It is a sawmill. I'm not particularly interested in building it, but maybe I will be. We'll see. If nothing else, it's a card to discard to compensate for bad luck. So there you go, folks. That is 1 round into the game so far. 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 9 cards in hand and $1 worth of resource sitting here. So hopefully the second round goes a little bit better. One thing I need to check, I guess, really quick is this point from my building immediate or at the end of the game? Because one of the cool things, score track, you start at 3 points, and as you move along, every increment of 5 points that you hit allows you to draw 2 cards. So all the way up to 20 points. And then after that, you don't get to draw the cards. You're already doing fine. So I'm going to look up the rules really quick. If those are scored immediately or at the end of the game, because I suppose that'll make a bit of a difference. Pay the cost, place the building, place the house. Hopefully everyone's having a good day so far. It's Sunday afternoon in Australia, so how are you all doing? Are you up to anything over there? And then what's everyone else doing awake? It's late. You should be in bed. You should be responsible, unlike me. Okay, no. So yeah, buildings that you build throughout the end of the game are only points at the end of the game. But if you build into one of these spaces out here that shows like 2 bonus points or whatever, if you are the person who builds onto their first, or I guess in a solo game, if I build on here at all, I do score those points immediately. Devin, you say you should be in bed. All right, I understand. How are you handling everything? I don't know, with all the lockdowns and the general unease of the world. Are you staying up super late? Are you coping in strange ways like most of us are? Hopefully you're doing all right, man. All right, step 2 or round 2 of 7. So we start back up at the top. First thing that happens, we flip over this card, and then Okay, here we go. So, Corn Farms is the name of the event. So, what we'll be doing is we'll be adding these cards into the lineup. So, oh dear, they are in a stack. I forgot that this would happen. These right? Oh, it's over here. Okay. So this is a 7 or 8 game campaign, and what'll happen is you keep adding new cards into the deck. So you'll be adding new types of cards and buildings and such. So I gotta go find cards 200. No, it's not in this bag, is it? Yeah. Curse you, Perry the Platypus. All right. I gotta find which bag I stuck them in. Because we were partway into the campaign, playing Wendy and myself, and then I had to take cards out to go back. Here we go, Corn Farms. To go back and make this playable, for this solo play. Corn Farm. I think that's all it is, those 4 cards. Okay. Yeah. So I had to pull cards out of the deck, and so you got to bow. So now these Corn Farms pop out, and so these are as well in the lineup of buildings that I could purchase. They're worth 1 point. They cost 8 coins, but have a 3-coin discount if you build them in an area that shows this yellow-green bonus, like this spot here on the map. And then what happens is every single turn, a corn farm just produces a piece of corn all by itself. So, that's pretty good, right? Because it's a black building, it'll just fire off during step 6, guaranteed. So I might be building one of those here soon. Paul, what do you say you've been up to? Voted early today? Okay. And just shopped around at Meepleville. Ooh, you picked up Brass Birmingham? Yeah. Pudding, Brass Birmingham, I would say that's an excellent day. That's quite good. I didn't know that. You own an emergency first aid kit company. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I did not know that about you. I guess we haven't really caught up as well as it should have been, but that's an interesting company. And I guess it's true that there would be a need for that. Thinker Themer, cool. You love Brass as well. Have you both played Birmingham specifically? I forget, or just Brass, the original, or like the Lancashire reprint? And Paul, have you played? You played Birmingham before as well? I don't think we've played that one together. So okay. So anyway, the corn farms. So this event card pops out. So you place those into the building display. So now they're buildable. And when building, you can build from the display or from your hand. Cool. Enoch Bruback says, "I have some cheap corn farms for you." What a stand-up guy, that Enoch Bruback. So, all right. So that's the current event. Now you'll see on this card there's 1 yellow and 2 reds. So, it's not a guaranteed to fire off this coal mine, which requires 2 yellows. And we saw how poorly that worked out for me last time, as is. So, all right. So that happened. Now I have to put up my action selection discs, knowing this is what's up. I know one of the things that I want to do is I want to get an extra worker disc. So I think this is what I'm going to do. These are going to be my actions 1 and 2, is regardless of what happens in the market, right? Because I'm not trying to produce squat. I'm not producing anything. All I'm doing is using these action spots. This one gives me 4 resources plus 1 of a kind, 1 of like anything I want. I don't have any other production buildings, so it's coal. This one allows me to spend $7, $3 because of that discount, in order to get a 3rd worker, which is going to let me do so much more. Can I build anything? Because I do get that 1 free build, remember. So I have $1 sitting on my coal mine. I will get 5 from here and spend 3 6 minus 3 is 3. And this building only costs 5, but with a discount of 3. So, really, I think that this is gonna be good. Do 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 chicka chow. All right. So step 2 is done. I've set up my workers. Step 3 I'm going to do purely for the sake of doing it. Bum, 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 bum. Look at that. A normal looking distribution of special peoples come out. Can't believe I got no yellows last round. So if I had people down here, I would care about this, but I don't. I'm all up here. So let's do these actions in order. So action number 1, I'm going to discard 2 cards. Things that I don't think I need to keep. Probably not this weaving. This is a super expensive card. So I'm going to discard this weaving card for 1. And then for number 2... it's hard because the sawmill is just cheap. It is just cheap. I need the bakery. The fortress is not bad because this will complete the 2 fist requirement that I'll need for the endgame objective card. The Cooper's Workshop. This doesn't... No, I'm going to discard those 2. Boop, boop. So those 2 are gone. So now I get 4 coal plus a resource of type, of whatever type I want. I.e., I'm going to throw down 5 coal. There's a little +5 marker, which is nice. Yoink. So that's action number 1 completed. And then action number 2 costs $7 to unlock a worker. But I'm going to use this one-time ability, so subtract 3 from the cost, and I only have to pay 3. So I'll turn this 5, grab 2 back. Hello, number 3. Welcome to the family. Whew. Paul says, brass was a weird blank spot in my gaming collection, and I've never played it. Hoo. Oh man, I really like it. I really like it. And Birmingham, especially the second edition of it is, I prefer, especially for 2-player play. That's the thing. A lot of people prefer the tightness of the original, but it's still not as good and dynamic for 2 players. Wendy and I just played one last night, a game of Brass Birmingham. We both happened to go into the cotton industry in the same portion of the map. Normally, we spread out a little bit. One of us builds crates. One of us will do maybe some cotton and maybe some pottery and whatnot. But we went for like heavy of the same industry in the same map region, and we just got in each other's way, and we butted heads so much. It was weird, but it was great. And unlike any other time that we played it. Devin, he said, I'd get Meeple Land. You watched that video, I assume, then. I forget when we did that one. But yeah, it's such a fun game. Such a fun one. I'm excited to play that again. Okay, so I just finished taking all of my actions. So now we go to step 5. So step 4, I was able to hire this extra worker, which is neat. And now step 5, I can build a building. This one costs 5. I don't have $5, but it says if I build specifically in this region, this like field region, then I get to get a $3 discount. And I'm going to indeed build it right here into this spot that has this field symbol in it. Part of the reason I want to build here, and I realize I neglected to mention this earlier, is every player also gets a secret objective at the start of the game, normally face down, hidden from the other players. A solitaire game, it's face up, why not? I'll get 2 points at the end of the game for every building that I build into an area that has this shape of flag. You'll see that there's flags that have like the 2 little tips down. There's flags that have little like castle-looking battlement type thing, like over here. And then there's a flag that has like the 1 little point in it coming down. So regions like this one, and this one all are going to be worth 2 points, particularly for me at the end of the game. Also, if I build where there's these like mysterious obelisks or whatever they're called, those are worth a bonus 2 points as well for me at the end of the game. So I like this secret I like the secret objectives in this game. So that's particularly why I wanted to build here. Jordan, welcome to the chat. I appreciate your witty entrance into the chat here. It's very witty. Good humor. So what I need to do is, since I'm building this, I need to determine which slot of my little board here I want to build it into. Because this particular building costs, you'll see 1 green and 3 red, which is not always super common. Red is one of the more rarer resources. You can see that here. Red is a little bit more rare to pop out of the bag and on the cards, but I think I want to build on one of these spaces here so that I can try and produce more of it, because the more cattle I can produce, assuming I get one of these buildings that turns it into meat, then the more meat that I could get. So I think it I think I'm gonna put it into this space here. So this space says that I can produce 1 cube of it if I have at a discount of one of these numbers, so the 1 green or one of the 3 reds. But if I have an extra, then I can produce 3 cubes of it. And I want to produce a lot, I think. Because cattle can then production chain once I get another card into meat, and meat is an end game objective bonus thing. So, yeesh, I got a lot of points to go. So that's done. I did my free build for the round, and then step 6, I get to activate all my black buildings, so I get to draw a card, and it is a small watchtower. Man, I have no idea how I'm doing. Round three of 7. So so we're up here at the top. So one of each worker comes out, right? So that's not a guarantee to fire off any of my buildings, but it says this turn during phase 3, I get to draw 6 dudes out of the bag instead of 4. Whew. Okay. Maybe I can make this work. So let's see. Now I have to go ahead and assign my discs out, and I've got 3 of them this round instead of the 2. So maybe that's great. This is where this action over here becomes really nice, is discard 2 cards to get 4 coal, i.e. $4, and a resource of your choice. Now that I've got this cattle down here, it's worth $2 instead of just 1. So that one extra thing of my choice can become, extra stuff. So maybe I'll do that. And and then for a second action, I'm not gonna have a lot of money. If I do this first, I'll guarantee to have some money. Now, for a second action, I could come over here and do this, where I can spend $4 to upgrade one of these little octagon things. So I could either make myself able to travel further when I build to a 2 and a 3 instead of a 1 and a 2, or I could upgrade this part of my board, which means instead of having to spend 3 cards from my hand per missing worker type, I would only have to spend 2 cards. And every time that you take this action, you earn 2 points. Guess what? I'm sitting at 3 points. If I earn 2 points, I get to draw 2 cards. So I'm mighty tempted actually to do that, to upgrade one of these things. And then with my third worker, maybe I'm gonna do. Okay, what do I do now, right? Oh my. I think I'm going to go here. So I bet that I'm going to get 1 extra. I need 2 yellow and a red because of this card sitting here. Oh, here we go. I can move it down. Yeah, so you go. It's available in view right now. Woo! So because this card, I'm guaranteed 1 yellow, 1 green, 1 red, 1 blue. This one needs at least another yellow to fire off. And so if I go here, the -1 worker space, then this already meets all its requirements, but I only build 2 cubes at $2. If I go here, I'm willing to bet that out of the 6 extra guys that I'm going to pull out of the bag, that I'll be able to get some extra of the yellow and the red type. Yeah. Why would I need all of that? Oh, because then I might have enough money to be able to afford this. This costs $6, -3 if I build it in a tower spot. Oh dear. If I build it in, say, a tower spot, much like this one that I'm right adjacent to, and if I build this over here, I also can grab this bonus space. Yes, I think I'd quite like to do that, actually. So this is my turn. This is my turn. I've got it planned out. So now phase 3 happens. Instead of drawing the 4, I'll be able to draw out 6. Shake them around and really pull out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really pull out exactly what I want, hopefully. 1, green. Nope, don't like that. 2, red. Okay, hey. 3, yellow. All right, good. I am good now. And the last 3 are, oh gosh, green and a bunch of blue. Don't need those, right? But I now have, if you look at this here, I have 2 yellows between the pre-printed and this one. And then I have, I said +1, right? So I have the 1 red already plus another red. So, whew. Let's fire these off in order, though. Action disc number 1 is over here, where I'm going to discard 2 cards from my hand. And as much as, oh man, this is 10 points. Ooh. I'm gonna hold on to that. Oh no, these small watchtowers are 0 points. That's what I was gonna build this round. I'm gonna discard the sawmill for 1 card, and then my second card that I'm gonna discard will be... Yowza. Probably the flour mill. Discard these 2 so that I can get 4 coal. So I'm going to plop 4 cubes right on there and 1 extra of my choice. And so I'm going to turn it into a cattle, right? Because this cattle is worth 2 coins instead of 1. So that's worker disc number 1, Dunzo. He goes away. Worker disc number 2 over here. I can spend 4 coins in order to upgrade one of my abilities and get 2 points. So I'm going to spend 4 off of my... I'm going to spend 4 off of here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That goes away. And... oh, and I get to upgrade one of these... I get to upgrade one of these 2 things. So either I can build further away and earn... so this one would allow me to build further away, and if I build even up to 2 steps away, I could still claim one of these bonus tiles. Or I could use this one and then spend 2 cards instead of 3 cards per missing worker. I'm going to upgrade this one. Boop. The reason I'm going to upgrade that is because now, in a second here, during the build phase, you'll see what I get to do. I get to do some shenanigans. Finishing up this action, though, over here you see, because I took this action, I also get to score 2 points. I slide my score track up here. I'm on 5, which allows me to draw 2 cards. Cards are good, right? Whoa! Nice. Not bad at cards, not bad. Okay, so that's Dunzo, and then I'm going to go to my tableau and fire off action number 3, and you'll see that here on my production, I have enough production to make this work, and so I get 3 coal to throw on there. Yoink. All right, that's good. So all my actions are done now. Going over to action number 5, I can build. Actually, I was going to build this small watchtower because I thought I wasn't going to have much money. I wonder what else I can afford. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have up to 8 that I can spend, but honestly, not a lot of cards. I could build this that's going to be $2 every round, essentially, 2 coal. Coal can also be used in different types of production chains. Like you'll notice in this bakery production chain, you need to have coal and wheat, and then you combine those and that becomes bread, right? You're baking the wheat using the coal for the heat and turning it into bread. It's a nice little thematic touch. So now I'm going to build this. I'm going to do what I was originally going to do. I'm going to spend this is the fun part. I have to spend $6 to build this small watchtower, giving me one of the fists that I need for the end of the game, right? Remembering that I need 2 of them to show that I'm tough enough, strong enough. When I build it, I also immediately draw 2 cards, bonus, very nice, and I get a $3 discount if I build it in one of these spaces on the map. One of the spaces that shows the matching tower icon. I was going to build here, but because I upgraded this from 1 movement to be able to draw a bonus tile to 2, I'm going to build it over here. 2 steps away from where I am already. I can build 2 steps away for the discount, so I still pay only $3 instead of 6 for this one. I get to build, I'm going to add it to my tableau over here. And because I've built 2 spaces away, I get to grab the bonus tile. So in the future, I can get 1 worker discount on a tile of my on one of the resource productions of my choice. And this one is worth an immediate 2 victory points, so I cover that up. And so, whoop, boom, boom. All right, I feel like I'm getting somewhere now. Good, 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 good. I built the small watchtower, which gives me an immediate draw of 2 cards. Sawmill and a cattle farm. Not bad. Not bad. And then... and now step 6, phase 6, I get to also activate this building to draw a card. Another sawmill. All right, I need to get big resources if I'm going to ever be able to afford these cards, which now I don't know if I will, honestly. Even though they're 10 victory points, I need 38 points if I'm going to be able to win. So, whew. Send those flying. Fantastic. So yeah, Jordan, what are you up to, man? It's midnight over in your neck of the woods, is that correct? Bad at math sometimes, usually quite good, but, live videos on the spot. When, in board game, it's often important to be good at math. On the spot, I'm bad at it. Okay, so here we go. Next phase is blueprints. Immediately add 4 more cards to the building display over on the side. And you see I get 2 yellow, 2 green, a red, and a blue for the round guaranteed, in addition to whatever else I'll end up drawing out, the 4 extra in phase 3. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's add I'm going to add the discard. I'm going to move it up here out of camera view because, yowza, running out of space. So 4 more cards. Oh, look at this. This came out. A fortress. So remember how I have this in my hand, and it's worth 10 points if I build it, but now there's one over here in the display. So I don't have to hold on to these in my hand anymore. I can use them, if I want to, for like discarding purposes, or if I activate this. I didn't do the production chain earlier. Probably, well, yeah, I probably could have. Could have stood to have done that. Oh well. And then the cattle farm, you'll notice I can production chain it if I whoop, whoop, if I activate this building. If I throw yellows, what is it? If I throw I can throw yellow cards into it to production chain woof, when I activate it, which will give me one extra resource per thing here plus that one bonus. I might need to do that. Is there a slaughterhouse out yet? Something that turns. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice it. This abattoir. Oh, okay. Look at that. Yeah, that turns these 2-cost cattle into 4-cost meat. So maybe I need to build that later. We'll see. Neat. All right. So step 1 done. I know that this is what I'm going to be working with. All right. So next up, step 2. I got to put my workers out. Oh man, how am I doing? Whew. I have this -1 token. So even if a building doesn't fire off all the way, I can discard that. So I think one of the things I'm going to want to do is I'm probably going to want to activate this cattle farm and see if I can get a lot of cubes out of it and maybe ditch these cards into... Oh, but one of these is the flour mill. That's fine, because I've got other flour mill cards of different types. Yeah, I think I'm going to activate the cattle farm. I'm going to ditch these cards to production chain it. And maybe activate this coal mine and ditch these things as well. Okay. Oh, man. What do I want to do? Okay, what do I want to do? So one of my actions, I think... One action, I think I'm going to do the coal mine. Another action, I think I'm going to do the cattle farm. And then for a third action, what am I going to do? I could do this draw up extra cards so that I have more fought. Oh. Yeah. Maybe I'll do this. Sure would love to draw more red. Red is what I primarily need right now. Okay. So step 3, I'm going to draw some things out of the bag here for 4 of these little pieces. Come on. Give me a ton of red. Switch the camera views. Boom, green. Oh dear. Boom, green. Oh dear. Boom, yellow. No. Boom, red. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, that's adequate. That's adequate. All right, let's go. So my action number 1 over here, I could ditch my entire hand and swap stuff out. But no, I kind of like this combo of cards right here. So I think I'm going to hold on to my hand, but I will drop 3 more. 1, 2, 3. More flour mill options, that's fine. Ooh, look, a different abattoir. Does anyone know this word? Is this an English word for like butcher or like meatery, meaty placey? And then if I build the post office, then it just always gives me an extra blue. My things don't really need blue this game. So, cool. I drew a few extra cards. Oh, but you know what? This is an extra, even though the abattoir, a battery, even though this battery is going to give me more meat, it's also a wheat building, the yellow building, which I think I'm going to use to discard or to pump up this thing full of more. So, all right. So that was action number 1. Action number 2, I want to activate this thing to get 3 cattle. But the problem is that I need, I said I was going to get a +1, meaning I need to have everything printed on here, 1 green and 2 or 3 reds. I don't have them. Is that really a term, thinker-themer? Abattoir? How do you pronounce it then? If you can spell it phonetically for me. Is that really what you call it, or are you messing with me? Because you can tell me anything about Australia and I will believe you. Like 100% guaranteed to be like, yeah, this is how it is. Yeah, my Australian friends told me, yeah, they don't use the number 6 out there. Like, it's forbidden. So, yeah, you can't sell anything for $6. You can't sell half a dozen eggs. Like, I'd believe you. Okay, so I bet that this was going to be a +1. So I don't have the 3 reds here. I only have 2, but I do have extra green. So I'm going to use this token that I had to discount the number of reds that I needed. Not bad, right? So that token gets spent. Goodbye. Thank you for your service. And so now I have everything that I need plus at least 1 more green, right? So bam. I get to build 3 resources of this type over here. Grand. And I'm going to production chain 3 more of these. I'm going to discard these 3 because these wheat buildings, these wheat cards can be discarded to add 1 more cube each. So you get 3 more, 1, 2, 3, plus every time that you use a production chain, you get 1 bonus. So this building went from having 1 cube on it, $2, to having 8 or $16 worth. Yay! There's a 6. I mean, the number is associated with the mark of the beast, so that would make sense. Yeah, Australia can't afford that, right? Can't afford to offend any demons, regal or mythological. Okay. So my third action is going to fire off over here. The coal mine. Indeed, I had 2 yellows and a red. In fact, I had extra, but yeah, that's fine. So I said I guaranteed that I would have 1 extra, so that fires off. I do get 3 coal to put on there. Plus, I think I am going to production chain some of these cards out of my hand. It's dangerous to throw away too many cards, especially because, I'm just going to ditch maybe 1 of these cards, 1 of these fortresses, because it's the matching type. So I get to put 1 extra on there, plus, because anytime a production chain fires off in a building, you get 1 extra, so boop. If I organize this, I would more easily be able to eyeball how much okay, I have 8 on there and 8 on there. Not bad. Not bad of a turn at all. So all 3 of my action discs have been spent. 1, 2, and 3. Step number 5, I could build now. I've got a healthy portion of money now. So, I could build almost anything that I wanted, besides one of these fortresses. Maybe I'll build one of these Australian slaughterhouses here. The abattoir. Cost me $17. That's most everything that I have. That's the only unfortunate part. But I'd be able to turn some of this stuff here into meat pretty easily, as long as I somewhat fire off this building. Okay. Is this worth building? $17. Because this is 8 right here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Or 17. Then I could keep 1 coal. Okay. That's going to let me still keep a little bit of cattle. Ooh. The gamer says, no, we say 6, that's fine. In New Zealand, because of their accent, yes, I've heard this before. In New Zealand, yes, I've heard that for us culturally ignorant Americans and our inability to distinguish accents, a person from New Zealand doesn't say 6, they say 6. And so that's how you can differentiate. If you are having trouble guessing from which country a person is from, the New Zealand accent makes 6 sound a little risque. So I'm going to spend 7 coal and $10 worth of cattle, whoop, to build the Thinker Themer. I still don't know if you're joking with me or not. If this is a real word, the abattoir, the abattoir, the abattery, and then I have to choose which slot I want to build it into. I don't think this one's worth it. +2 to build 4. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But I could build in one of these boring upper slots. It'd be a safe move. I think I'm going to build it over here. Yoink. Because this is -2. So even if I have a completely bum reveal, okay, I think Athena says it's real. Okay, I trust you. I trust you. Like I said, I trust anything that you tell me about Australia at this point. Yeah, so because this spot here is worth -2, should I have even a really bum, like terrible thing, I could still fire this off and convert a lot of cattle into meat, which is going to be worth a lot. So that upgrade could be huge, and therefore I will keep it. That's what I'm going to do. I hope that's right. All right, so step 5 is done. Step 6, these will activate, and I get to draw 1 card. The post office. Don't I have another one of these that adds blue? Yeah. There's one over here on the side that adds green if you build it. So every round you get... yeah, okay. So yeah, I think Athena mentions, yeah, the some of the worst outbreaks of the pandemic in different regions are at the slaughterhouses and the meatpacking plants. And I've wondered why, and I guess it's just the close proximity. Like it's a lot of manual labor all close together. So that's the unfortunate truth. It's really harsh working, and so especially during this pandemic, people still need food. So that is a thing. Oh, you know what? Okay, so I built this. I still don't know how to pronounce it. I built the meaty place. And now I get to choose where I want to build it. Because I can go up to 3 steps. If I'm not trying to grab one of these bonus tokens, then you can go up to 3 steps easily. So I could go 1, 2, 3. I could go 1, 2, 3. Some of these spaces have like little bonus points on them. This one is 3 spaces away and has a 2 victory point. Immediate bump up on it. So that would be good. Yes. Perhaps that's the one. So 1, 2, 3 spaces away, I build the slaughterhouse all the way over here, away from everything else. And so that is worth a bonus 2 points. 1, 2. I'm 1 point away from getting that extra 2-card draw. Not bad. Not bad. And I'm kind of at the point where I wouldn't mind ditching my hand, all except for this bakery. So I might do that next turn. We'll see. Alrighty, Dunzo with that turn. So let's go to the top, draw the next event card. Reinforcements. Ooh, at the end of the round, I get to take one of these assistant guys here from the labor force and put it onto my player board, and then I can spend it later. So whatever dudes I draw out during phase 3, I get to keep one of them for future rounds. Not bad. Whew. Okay, so now I get to put up my workers. 2 reds and a green means that my cattle farm is once again almost completely operable just by what came out of the cards. So I think I will be putting one of my discs on here on the +1 side because I have a big enough hand. I can ditch cards to I think to... yeah, I could ditch cards to make that happen. Now, if I do activate this, the butcher place here, I can convert any cattle into meat, which would allow me to have a lot more money. It would double the value of the meat, essentially, which would make it so much easier to build this bakery. Oh, I still don't have a flour mill. That's the problem. Dang. All right. I still need to be able to make flour, which would then turn into, this. How am I going to do this? I need to get 38 points. And at the end of the game, every 5 coins is worth a point. But I also just have to discard $30, 30 coins worth of just these food resources. So, yikes. I suppose I should have been building corn farms because these are just guaranteed corn every round, and every round you would add one onto here. They're only $8, $5 if you include the fact that I could build them in these yellow regions that have like the yellow matching symbol, and they'd be a lot cheaper. Ugh, this is a puzzle. This is a puzzle when you're playing the solo mode because, like I said, this is my first time. Just oh my gosh, like how do I how do I get this many points? This is huge. No wonder people said that this is a struggle. This is $7 is all I have to my name. I sure would like to unlock my extra worker, but it costs 13. Oh. I wanted to ditch my hand, but now I'm not so sure. But if I did, I could. I have what, 2 more rounds to the game, so having 4 workers could be really good if I could do that. This is tough. There's only 2 more rounds left. What am I doing with my life? I think I'm gonna try ditching my hand. I hope. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep this bakery. Honestly, I think that I'm gonna just try and use the slaughterhouse to get all of the 30 coins that I need. That's not great. But maybe I can do it. And so I can ditch the rest of this hand because I'd like to have a lot more. Okay, so I'm going to ditch my hand. Oh, I have 2 more rounds after this. Oh dear. Ditch my hand. Plus, I could do this, which would make it so much easier to discard cards to make up for when I don't have enough stuff in a building. I don't have enough workers of the right types. Oh my. Plus, that would give me 2 more points, which would give me the extra card draws. So maybe I'll do that first so I could draw up extra cards, and then secondly, I could see if I want to ditch them and draw up more cards. Or maybe I should drop cards after them. I'm going to do that. Yank. Oh no, but I also want to be able to spend $13 to do that, but I need to produce something. So I don't think I'm going to do that this turn. I'm going to do this, and then lastly I'm going to try and get my last worker unlocked. So, okay. Let's see what happens. Step 3. I get to draw out the coin, or the, not the coins, you get the extra workers. So I'm going to draw out 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a red and a green would be great. So, boop, yellow, boo, red. Hey, that's good. Boop, yellow, and boop, blue. Dad, gummit. Oi. All right. So what's going to happen first is I'm going to go over here to the action board. My first action, I am indeed going to ditch my entire hand, I think except for this bakery. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. 8 cards. I'm going to just discard all of them. Whoop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. Let's see what I get. Eh. Flour mill, spinning mill, clay. Another one of those slaughtery houses. Ore mill. Okay. So I unfortunately did not get very many of these flower cards, which I was hoping to use to build up more cattle this round. I got a lot of wood cards. Okay. You really need to get better at drawing cubes? What do you mean, like just like producing more cubes? Or better at like drawing these little guys out here because they're almost working for me. Almost. So I have 3 red and a green, but I guaranteed that I'd have a +1 in order to build these 3 things. So I got to discard 3 cards. I'm gonna discard the 3 cheapest ones because I don't think those buildings are going to be worth enough for me to keep. I need to try and build some big buildings. Yoink. So those 3 are gonna go away. Goodbye. Now I have met this condition here. So 3 more cubes come out, and then I'm going to discard. I'm going to production chain. So I'm going to discard a yellow card in order to get 1 extra plus the 1 bonus for using the production chain. Yeah, I really got to think about which cards I discard actually, because can I afford anything? This might be the real question. Okay. Now the good news is my third action, I get to spend 13 coins, and then I will get 3 victory points and unlock my 4th guy. So 13 coins is a lot of coins. So 5 of these are worth 2, that's 12, and then this 1 coal is 13. So all of these go away. I don't see myself winning this one. Okay. And then, yeah, my third action is done. So I will gain 3 points. 1, 2, 3. I get to draw 2 extra cards for firing that off. Hey, look, I drew another bakery. And now I draw the curses. Now I draw another one of these things. Maybe I'll turn that into cattle later. Done that. I unlock my 4th worker. And I'm at 12 points. 12 out of 38, right? Not good. Yeah, I agree, Paul. I need to get better at drawing out the right kinds of these little guys. I love the push your luck in here, but usually I push my luck a little bit in the right direction. Okay, step 5, I can build a building if I want to. Remember how I decided to be a little bit more cautious about what I kept? I'm going to build this one. Because if I build it in a mountain symbol area, I get 3 discount on it, which is good because I only have $4. You don't get change. I'm spending 4 from cattle to build this card out. I'm just going to throw it in this spot. I don't think it truly matters. I'm not really going for this ore, but I just want to build some stuff and get presents out on the map. Because... So I need to build somewhere that has a mountain symbol. So these ones have a mountain symbol. Where else? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I could build it. Oh. Not bad. Not bad. I'm going to build over here. Yoink. Because that gives me 1 immediate victory point right there. Plus, now I'm close enough that I can build in these spaces. Or like this space in particular has the little monolith obelisk thing. And is worth 2 points in and of itself. And now I'm adjacent to another one of these symbols here that match my secret objective, right? So this one is worth 2 bonus points. This one is worth 2 bonus points at the end, plus 2 immediate points. So, you know, it's getting worth it. It's all right. I'm doing fine. Now I've got all 4 of my workers, though. All 4 of my actions, so yeehaw. So my build is done. Step 6, I do get to draw 1 card. A weaving mill. Don't need you. Oh, boy. All right. Let's go to the reveal here. Holiday. Choose either to immediately draw 3 cards or get 2 victory points. Well, look at this, because if I get 2 victory points, boop boop, I get to draw 2 cards. So I get the best of both worlds, essentially. So draw 2 cards, another small watchtower, and a post office. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, a constant red wouldn't be bad, but I need to get a lot more points. I need a lot more points. Okay, so this effect is, the immediate effect is done, and then I get to, I know that I'll have 2 yellow, a green, no red, and a blue. Well, unfortunately, almost everything that I have here calls for red. Oh no. Oh dear. How am I going to do this? My hand is not very good. How do I get... Okay. I need to have 30 coins worth of foodstuffs at the end of the game. Each one of these meats are worth 4. So 30 divided by 4 is 8. 8 to get 32 bucks in it, right? I need 8 sitting here? Yikes. This is an especially bad card to try and activate. This guy or this guy. Unless, like, lest I have to ditch just a bunch of cards. I'm honestly fairly aimless right now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I eventually have to build one of these watchtowers, right? Because I need a second fist for the end game objective. And that literally might be the only end game thing I actually finish. Sorry that you're watching such a pitiful attempt at this game. But it is not going well. Maybe I'll make up the points. I don't know. End game bonus. I got 4, 5, 6 points in buildings, right? So at the end of the game, that'll shoot me up to 21. Maybe I'll get to 38. That's a big maybe. Plus, I've got a couple of these secret objective things done. So 21. Let's see. So I need to figure out what my actions are going to be. Thankfully, I got 4 actions, but unfortunately, I have no money. No money is bad. So probably drawing and ditching ditching and then redrawing cards will probably be my first step. Because then I'll have more fodder cards that I can spend to activate a building. And I really think that my cattle farm is just going to be so important. Hot dang. I would love to be able to get 3 cubes onto it, because that's going to be money. But, yikes. I'm going to go on the -1 and only produce 1 thing, because I'm going to ditch... I will keep this card, and hopefully when I ditch cards, I'll be able to draw more yellows that will convert onto this. And then... Oh my gosh, I thought this was going to be a good move, but there's almost no green and almost no red. Even if I do a -2, that's terrible. Do I need to move cattle over? That'll be good. That'll be worth a lot. And then maybe I can build multiple things this round. So maybe I'll take the build action twice. Because if I take the build action plus, I get this build here. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll just get the extra draw of cards. Yikes. All right. Hey, let's just see what happens, right? Y'all aren't here to watch me win. Y'all are here just to watch me have fun and maybe make fun of me if I do extremely poorly. Pulling out 4 people for phase 3. Blue, not helpful. Yellow, also not helpful. Yellow, also not helpful. And red. Yikes. All right. Hey, I mean, Paul is still correct. I need to get better at drawing out these little guys here. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm once again dishing 8 cards. Whoop, goodbye, and drawing 8. Joink. Eesh. Hey, I wonder if I forgot to draw these 3 extra cards last time. Cool. I am going to definitely get at least a little bit more action going there. And then I have the weird sneaking suspicion I forgot to draw the extra 3 cards after taking the ditching cards action. Not bad. Not bad. This is fine by me, actually, because I'm going to turn this into a lot of cattle. A lot of cattle. Okay, so that was action number 1 done. Ditching and then redrawing. Action number 2, I said -1? Yuck. Because I only have 1 green and 1 red, so I need to discard 3 cards to activate that one. So I'm going to just discard these 3 post office. I want nothing to do with you. 1, 2, 3. That counts as enough to get this to fire off. So I get to add a cattle onto here. And I'm going to production chain. Because as long as I chain yellow cards onto there, so this is 5 cards. So I'm going to get a 5 token plus the 1 bonus token. So yoink. That goes away. Now I've got 7 resources just sitting on this little area here. So action 2, done. Action number 3, I said 3 yellows and 2 blues, -2, and that didn't even get close. So I would need to discard 3 cards if I want this to fire off. Oh, that'll let me have like no cards going into the next round. Yikes. And I need to build stuff too. This is misery. Uh-oh. Whoa. I need to build stuff. But thankfully I have this whole display of cards over here on the side. So like I can just build from out of here instead of having to worry about having cards in hand. Yikes. Oh, I just noticed there's a misprint on this card. It's missing the victory point symbol that all the other cards have. Look at that. Okay. So I'm going to ditch these 3 cards. Yikes. To fire off this one. So it fires off 1 time. But I'm going to production chain a boatload of stuff over here. I'm going to move over all 7 of these. And because I production chained onto it, it also earns a 1 extra bonus thing. So I've got 9 resources on here. Each resource being worth 4 coins. 4 because it's meat. So action 3 is done, and now action 4 I took over here was the build action. So I get to build a card and pay its price, and then immediately afterwards, in step 5, I also get that free build, right? Or draw 2 cards, and it might be... All right. I can build this watchtower because I need to build a watchtower, and I'd rather build it now than later because it gives me an immediate +2 card draw. So unfortunately, these are worth 4 each. This costs 6, so... But if I build it in the little castle area, I get $3 off. Yeah. So I'm going to build it in this castle area. So I'm going to pay 1 resource cube from meat, which is worth 4. So that covers the cost of 3 because I'm building this over... where? Over here. Onto this castle area. Yoink. Because that gives me the discount. Plus it has this little banner, the correct shape banner for my secret objective card, so that'll give me 2 more points at the end of the game. Not bad. It is 2 steps away from one of the places I am, so I can grab this bonus token off the map. This particular one says if I trade in two of these color card, then I can earn 1 victory point per the number of red guys in the this market over here on a round, and so we'll see what happens. Now, I built a small watchtower, i.e. I get to draw 2 cards. Or, not i.e., but ergo, perhaps? Look at that. Look what I drew. I drew a bunch of this color card, right? Which matches this token that I just got. So, I'm not going to do it now because this is pitiful points because there's almost no red. Whereas in the last round, the last card, this is always a fixed final card. I think there's bound to be more red. I think there is. Plus, I will hopefully draw some more. So I'm gonna keep hold of that. It's now time for. Okay, so I'm done with all 4 of my action discs now, and now it's time for step 5, which is the build. And I think I'm going to build this clay pit because it's just a point. I need points, and it costs exactly $4. So yoink, clay pit. I don't really care about your production capability, but you're a point to me. So spend these $4, get that point. Come on, slide under. Yoink. And then, because I built again, I'm going to put this out onto the map. And I want to go to this spot. 2 points immediately. And it has that little weird obelisk thing, so that'll be worth more points at the end of the game. Hey, hey. Something. 'Tis something. All right, y'all. I got 7 resources sitting over here. How many did I say I needed? I needed 8 at the end of the game to count as 30 coins, and so I got to pull off some big moves though if I'm gonna get 38 points. I've got my 2 fists. I am set up to maybe be able to have enough of this money left over to meet this mandatory objective, the 30 coins part. It's really just, can I get that many more points? Because yikes. Oh no, I forgot. I had this character card the whole time. Ugh. You have a one-time ability, right? You always get to draw a character at the start of the game. And so you can build something for $3 fewer. I would have done that way earlier and benefited from that and haven't been set up correctly. So, yikes. Wow, that's unfortunate that I forgot about that. Oops. You live, you learn. Phase 6, I get to draw a card. Small watchtower. Meh. Yeah, big oops. Remember, kids, don't forget if you have special abilities, use them. Last round of the game, this card flips over. It's the final thing. You see that there is 1 of each, plus I do get to draw 6 figures during phase 6. At the end of the round, I get to use all of my production chains. So that's one of the nice things about the end of this game is that any of these production chains that I have here, if I've got any cattle sitting here at the end of the game, I will get to turn them into meat. So, like, I don't have to try and finagle this like I did last round, where I had to have someone on this building if I wanted to be able to use the production chain. At the end of the game, guaranteed all production chains fire off, which is great. However, you don't get that 1 extra cube bonus like you usually do throughout the game. So, yeah. And if you're playing solitaire, this little final scoring card says, like, oh, depending on which player has the most strength, you don't count that. So I won't get any bonus points for that, but I will earn points from for every extra 5 coins that I have, and then all of my secret objective stuff. So, yeesh. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So step 1 is done. And then step 2, I get to put out my 4 workers. So where are they going to go? What are we going to do, fellas? Yeah, I'd like to activate this cattle farm once again, right? Because it costs 1 green and 3 red. I want to draw more cards. I know that. I want to have at least 2 of these mop bucket looking whatever cards, right? Because that will let me... That'll let me activate this bonus, which could be worth a lot of points, at least a handful of points. That might make the difference. But I also want to have some of these wheat cards so I can activate and get more cattle. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is gonna go to the draw more cards card. Like, I think I have to do that. What can I afford building-wise out here? I want to build something over here on the map because this banner flag matches my secret objective and it's worth a point. So I notice that there are some cards that are discounted if I build them in next to water. So this one's not bad, right? It's worth a point, right? It's not, but spending $4 to get a point is a good return because at the end of the game, it's $5 per point per this trade-in thing. So I'd rather build stuff, plus the fact that it'll give me 1 point immediately, plus the fact that it'll give me 2 more endgame points. So, you know, that's good. And if I build twice this round, kind of like I did last round, if I take an action disc over here to build again, 1, 2, oh, if I build here, yoink, that gives me, like if I build one of these buildings, that functionally gives me 3 points. And then 1, 2, 3, I could go and build this spot, which you see is immediate 2 points, plus has that weird obelisk thing for endgame scoring. So if I can build just anything, if I can just build anything relatively cheap, like, hey, this clay pit out here, right, that's not bad. That will give me... Yeah. That's not bad. That will give me 1 point from the card itself, plus 2 points, plus 2 points, right? That's 5. I mean, I could maybe make this happen. Let's do this. Okay, so action number 1 is I'm going to go here and draw up more cards, because I need that. Action number 2... Ooh. Action number 2, I think I'm going to activate this spot, which is... Oh no, I don't have cards that I can discard. I don't have... Oh, but I'm going to draw more cards, obviously. Then I can spend 2 of those cards to get 4 coal, which is 4 money, plus 1 other resource. Hey, okay, good. My 4th and last action will be to take the build bonus actions. I need to build twice this round. This will provide pretty much everything that I need for that. So this other action can just be anything else. I want to try and get as much cattle out here as I can. I hope when I draw 3 cards, I hope I get one of these yellows. Oh, I'm not pointing at it on the camera. I hope... Yeah, this is my 3rd action. I hope that I can get one of these from the card draw. So, I think that's going to be my turn. Ugh, let's see what happens. I get to pull out 6. I get to pull out 6 dudes of the little guys. Oh, a question for the stream. Okay, so last time the air conditioning kicked on, the stream said that I didn't really hear it. So do you hear it on right now compared to how it was not on like a minute or 2 ago? Come on, give me some red, baby. Green? Meh. Blue? Meh. Oh, no red! How does this happen to me? How does this happen? I just needed 1 red. Ah. Okay, you know what? This thing is worth 2 points. I would rather... Oh my gosh. That's bad. This thing was going to hopefully be worth some points if I drew out like 1 or 2 or 3 reds, but not in the cards. So, with this action... With this action, I was going to keep these 2 cards here. I was going to not ditch my hand and draw up new ones. I'll keep 1. I'll keep 1. I'm going to keep 1 of these, and I'm going to ditch the other 2. You have a loud printer going on in the background. Is that your 3D printer? Is that your super special, print out all of your own board games? Who needs to buy them anymore? Just print out your own copy of Blood Rage. Is that your 3D printer? Okay. So I'm going to replace those 2 cards. Yoink. Yoink. And I'm going to draw the 3 extra. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I didn't draw an extra... okay, here's my card. I didn't draw an extra one of these wool cards, which I don't care, because this was... this is not worth anything this round, because I have only 1 red thing going on. But I have 2 of these. Not bad, right? So check it. Oh, wait, not done yet. So, action number 1, done. Action number 2, I can discard 2 cards, which will be these 2. 2 cards gone. Yoink. And I get to produce 4 coal plus 1 resource of anything else of my choice. So let's go... Produce 4 coal. Not bad. And then 1 resource of my choice is going to be the most valuable resource. This one over here, the meat at the abbot. Why did I try and say it again? The abattoir? The abattoir? The abattery? All right. Oh, nah. Boo. All right. So action number 2, done. Action number 3 is going to be this one. 1 green, 2 yellows. Unbelievable. I can't believe I didn't get enough red for this. So I have to either discard 3 cards to make it work, or I could choose to not activate it, but I could choose to spend these ones. I think it works out the same either way. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and discard these 3 cards in order to produce 1. Just a meager 1 on here, but I will production chain this card, which... Abattoir. Okay. I'm going to discard this 1 to production chain, so I get the 1 plus the bonus 1. All right. Right? Not bad. Now I'm out of cards in hand. Like, that's all of it. Okay. Now let's go over to action space number 4, which, boom, is going to be a build. I have no cards in hand, we're usually required to build, but because there's also this display of cards that I can build on the side, I can build those ones. So, first I'm going to do the sawmill. Tuck that under here. It costs 6 normally, but it costs 3. It's a 3 discount if I build into this watery region. So right here onto the map. Boom, going to do that, spend my 3, and put out one of my houses here. Immediately earning 1 point. Yoink. So not bad. And then, now I'm done with all of my actions, right? That was my build. That was my 4th action. Step 5 is going to be to take this build. And I'm going to spend $4 of meat. So $4 of meat goes away because I'm going to build a clay pit. And this is $4 no matter where I build it. So I'm just going to tuck this over here. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to build this last house of mine 3 spaces away. 1, 2, 3 over here immediately for 2 points. So yoink, yoink. I get to draw 2 cards. Yeah, maybe I'll... Let's see. Yoink. Hey, you know what? Not terrible. Oh, you know, I just realized. Here, I'm going to do one quickie takey-backsy thing here, right? If you remember earlier, when I was activating... Here, I'll show you my tableau. Let me just do this a little bit smarter, like, right? I had these 3 cattle that I made with my stuff that I did earlier, right? Because I ditched these 3 cards. I'm not going to ditch those because... a very specific reason. Instead of ditching these 3 cards to activate this once, right, with my number 3 worker, I'm gonna I'm going to say that failed. It didn't work. But instead of drawing a card for the action, I still can choose, as long as I have a worker disc here, I can still choose to discard these 2 cards, right, for the production chaining. So I still make 2 plus the 1 bonus. So that's all functionally the same, but I did manage to keep these cards in hand. And you'll see why here once I do the endgame stuff. So that's going to be my move instead. Weird flex, but hey, it's all right. So now I've done all of my builds. You can see out here on the map, I have started here in Longsdale. I have ventured into nary every corner of the map. I think this kept getting pushed up. That's weird. So up from this corner all the way over to this area, in, obelisks and flags and banners and stuff. So let's see how I did now, right? So that is all of my actions, and then where is it? And now step 6, I get to draw 1 card from my writing room. Hey, you know what? I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to do this, right? I am going to spend 2 of these wool cards to oh my gosh, to activate this ability here, which says that I get 1 point per red person in the market plus 1. So I'm discarding these 2 cards to activate this ability, essentially for 2 points, which is ridiculous, but it should have been better than that. But yeah, beggars can't be choosers, and I'm begging for points at this point. So go from 20 to 22. Maybe I got this. Maybe I've got this. Okay. End of action phases. End of all the stuff that I can do, except at the end of the game, at the end of this round, I get to use all of my production chains, right? Per this step right here, end of round, use all production chains. So, remember how I kept these cards in my hand? Well, that's because I can turn them into ore. Because this allows me to turn these cards, yoink. So all of my production chains are going to fire off. These are worth 2 coins each. Not bad. Next up, I have one of these cards, one of the wheat cards, and so I'm going to use that to production chain and activate my cattle farm. Ooh. My cattle farm is built, or has production chained, and now I can, you see that I have 4 cattle sitting here, so I can bring those over to the abattoir, and so all of those will production chain over here. And so now I've got 10, 11 meat goods sitting here. This is why I'm excited about this. So I've done everything that I can. So now we go to the end game scoring and objectives and such. All right. So at the end of the game, I need to discard 30 coins worth of corn, bread, or meat. So as I said, 4. Each one of these crates here is worth 4. So this is 5. 5 times 4 is 20. 24, 28, 32. Right, so I'm overspending a little bit, but hey, this objective is complete. And I still have goods worth money sitting out here on my board. So let's go. For every 5 coins, that equals 1 victory point. So this is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, okay. 17 bucks, so that's, for every 5 is worth another point, so that's 3 points. So let's go to the score track here. So 1, 2, 3. I'm at 25 points now. Not bad. Once I add up the value of my buildings and my secret objective, I think I'm going to hit it, actually. Okay, now let's score my secret objective. Secret objective, I get 2 points for every of the pointed flag banners I go to. So let's look at the map. One of them, right here. 2, right there. And 3, right here. So 3 of the... So 3 of the pointy banners, plus how many of these weird like magical obelisks did I get to? I got to this one, and I got to this one. Not this really valuable one down here. Okay, so that's 3 of these flags and then 2 of these. So that's another 10 points. So let's go ahead and add that onto the score. So I went from 25 up to 35. Oh my gosh. And I get to add the value of the points of the buildings that I constructed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 9. These ones are with 0. So 9 more points onto my score. So I went from 35 up to 44, which means now we check. Did I pay 30 coins in meat substances? I did. Do I have at least 38 points? I do. And do I have at least 2 fists? I do. So I beat the opening mode. I beat the first level of the campaign in solo. Oh, that was a little bit harder than I was expecting it to be. Dude, that's exhilarating. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad that I did it. And I completely forgot to use this ability still. So don't be like me. When you have Gunda, the builder, a friend of Tybor, I mean, that's important for the story, right? She knows Tybor from the other game. So, yeah, don't forget to use your abilities. But, hey, I won it. I won it. Not bad. I like this map so much. So very much, right? I think that it's really cool. And the fact that as you play over the course of the campaign, there are different maps, right? So all of them are going to be just like a little bit different. And some of the maps themselves have like special worker placement spots on the map. So they're going to be like, every time you play the scenario, we've played the first 3 or 4, I think, Wendy and myself. And so I like how different they are. I like this game a ton. The thing is that it's just a little bit bigger. It's just a little bit more to it than the, oh my goodness, the original card game, which comes in a box like this big, right? Like there's no way that this game is going to fit in that, because the original is just, I mean, like the original game, I would say like this would be it right here. It's just a deck of cards, and it has the same type, like the cards look the exact same almost, right? And you just use cards to represent the different types of goods in the market instead of having these wood pieces, and instead of having more phases, and you don't have these things that you have to fire off in order. There's just like a very specific order that all the cards just kind of do their stuff each game. It's so hard, right, to say whether I like one or the other. Oh my goodness, it's an amazing small little card game because it's just deal cards, shuffle them. You know, everyone has a few cards in hand, and you play them, and this, that, and the other, and it's so good. But this is an amazing game too. I feel like this one kind of didn't get enough love, primarily because Alexander Pfister's other game that came out at the end of last year, Maracaibo, just blew up. That became a huge game, just huge, and everyone in the world loves that game except for me. And so I played Maracaibo twice, and it's just a little bit complex, and I'm playing it wrong, I'm sure, because it feels a little bit repetitive to me. But like, you know, moving in the big circle is just okay. Whereas this one is really dynamic. Like there were points where I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm just gonna try my best, and I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna mix things up by like ditching my cards and grabbing new ones, and that opened up a hand of possibilities for me. And then I was able to build a ton. And so, you know, if I hadn't unlocked my 4th worker 2 rounds ago, then I wouldn't have been able to take this building action 2 extra times. I wouldn't have gotten this building out, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, right? So that alone, boop, would almost knock me back beyond the winning point. And then if I hadn't built one more building, like this one over here or this one over here, then that would have done me in as well, because even just like that 1 or 2 point difference, I wouldn't have met the objective. I love chaining things together, right? One of the complaints about the original version of his card game, before it's called Oh My Goods, it's called Royal Goods. The production chains were not as easy to fire off, like to get things to kind of combine like this. And so each iteration of the game, he remade it into Oh My Goods, which is a stupid name, but fun game. And then with this one, I feel like he's also made the production chains like more sensible and more of the chains kind of fill out into just really, really valuable combinations. Plus the fact that, like especially in the solitaire mode, you have to hit certain types of things makes you want to look into different types of production chains. And there's enough options here so that I was going to start by going bread. I was gonna make that bread, as the kids these days say, for the term of earning money. But instead of going into bread, I went into meat because I just had it just kind of fell into place a little bit better. And I'm glad that I did. It worked out. Or I could have gotten corn if I had built, say, two of these corn farms early in the game. Then, with just a few, they just produce automatically. They don't take workers to activate them like the other production buildings do. These ones, because they're black, just fire off right at the end of every single round, and so they just make corn, and so that's $2 a piece. And so now I don't have to worry about spending a ton of actions to. I don't have to worry about spending a bunch of actions to get the right type of resources and everything. I can just let these fire off automatically, which is super cool. So overall, man, this was delightful. This is a good game. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. Thinker Themer, thanks for joining us on your lazy Sunday afternoon over there in Australia. Thanks for everyone else who's up late hanging out with me. So go to bed now, go get some sleep, and take care of yourselves. And then for the rest of us not living in the future, have a good Sunday. Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out, and hope you all had fun.